Well, hello everybody. I thought I would just give you a glimpse of what we've got going on here in the kitchen, or what we've been doing for the last several weeks. Here is a view of the main part of the kitchen that Lorna just cooked breakfast for me in. And I thought you might want a little preview if you can't make it down here to see it. Anyway, what you're looking at, a few tools still left out, whatever. We put a Formica top on there, and what you're looking at here is a piece of oak trim that we put on the edge of it. When I laid out the Formica, I realized it was 48 inches wide, and the cabinets are 24 inches wide. And something a little different on these cabinets. They come all the way to the top. There is no lip place, you know, to where if you buy a preset, pre-built Formica top, it has a curve over the front and about a 3/4 inch space between the top of the cabinet and the top of the drawer. Well, these drawers have no clearance like that. So either I was going to use half a sheet of the laminate to come out this far here, and therefore I could only use half a sheet. I used the whole sheet to get basically half of it plus an inch coming out over the edge of the cabinet. So found some oak trim or oak wood at Home Depot and got it. Put a little routed a little bead over the top here, kind of give a little class, and added it to the outside of the corners there. Got a pretty decent saw now. This is probably the first time in my life I've ever made a mitered corner that came out this neat. Anyway, that's what the cabinets are made out of. There's no backsplash of laminate or anything. This is natural slate. And Lorna has been collecting these very interesting tiles from all over the place, mainly California, that she's been saving for years and have wanted to use in her backsplash. So now we have the slate and the tiles that she's been using, or I've been saving, and there they are. Makes for a pretty nice kitchen all around. She designed the kitchen herself, and she said she wanted 2 full-size sinks in it. So there's sink number 1, sink number 2, and the dishwasher right in between. We've already tried that out. It's working pretty good. Just got that installed. And I think she's got quite a bit of room. This is almost 20 feet. Well, that's 16 feet on that side and 12 feet on this side. She has no upper cabinets. Just windows all around. So she's going to put shades here over the windows. But there's plenty of cabinets on the bottom. She can store just about everything we've got there. Now I'll point out this little fact here. If you look along this wall, you'll see a conduit and 2 copper pipes. Well, you know, this whole project was made from getting the lowest bids from different contractors, and some of the reasons that the bids were so low is because contractors don't do just perfect work. When we had the slab poured, we noticed that there was no water here where the kitchen was supposed to be. So there's nothing over the nothing over there on there. There is a drain between the 2 sinks. Then I put a big T on there and I drained water from the sinks. That's fine, but there's no water coming in. So I ran 2 pipes. I just took some copper pipes, soldered them together, and shined them up real good with you know, some steel wool, and painted them with polyurethane so they'll stay shiny. And also brought electricity in right next to it and used a metal conduit there so that you know, we'd have electricity and everything there. Now, so the water comes down and goes underneath the cabinets in the back side. The electricity comes inside the wall and runs underneath there. Oh, I'll point out this too. Lorna wanted a pot filler on her stove. You notice that the stove has no back on it. I don't know, it's the first time I've ever seen a stove that didn't have a kind of a heat shield going on the back, so we decided to use the slate there. The stove sticks up above the cabinets, and so the heat comes up this way, and that's why we went ahead and used another piece of that oak to build a shelf back here and put the pot filler so that Lorna can bring this out, fill a pot right on top of her stove there, and then just push this back out of the way and go cooking. All right. Some of the challenges we had. This long span right here, the purlin just below the windowsill had drooped quite a bit, at least a ½ an inch, maybe as much as 3/4 or something like that. And so when we put the slate, we built a ledge there, or a windowsill out of the slate, and filled the center of it with mortar to bring it up level, and it looks pretty decent now. We've also got, we had a problem during some the rain that we had back in May. There was so much of it that it was coming in all over the place, and we had some water coming in back in here. So that was pretty unusual, but just in case that ever we ever have that much rain again, there's a trough back here that water will collect in before it just runs out and all over the place first. So if we know it's raining, if we're home and ready to do something about it, we can keep the water out of that ledge and possibly build some kind of siphon system or whatever that would keep it cleaned out. But that's just a little bit more protection against rain leaking in here. Of course, Lorna has come back and she's caulked this really, really well, so I don't think there's any problem with it. I don't think we'll have any problem with it in the future, but you know, we're just kind of planning for any contingency. And so that is the kitchen. Now, we're still working on things, obviously. Oh, over here on the other side is the place where we've got a couple of cabinets and a great big refrigerator over here. It keeps things nice and cold. It's a very big refrigerator, and I keep important stuff in there. Anyway, and the freezer is down here on the bottom. Great big freezer with a pull-out drawer. A couple of tall cabinets for rooms and stuff. Well, the cabinets come out like this. The door comes straight out and pushes straight in on a couple of drawer slides right there. Both of them do that. These cabinets right here are going to go in our bathroom. When we got them all put together and stuff, we have 1, 2, 3 cabinets that we're going to move back to our master bathroom and put a sink on top of those stuff. If you walk in here, still doing a little bit of work around the water heater, which has been installed since last time you saw it. There is the water heater, 50-gallon job, sitting on top of the platform here. Down below the platform is our pressure tank, and I put a well pump, a submersible well pump, out in the cistern that is now providing the water to the house. And there was enough room in this little platform I built right here underneath it to leave the old well pump and pressure tank in there as well. So if anything ever happens to our unit down in the cistern, I'll be able to just pull this panel off and switch a valve on and plug in the old pump and keep going, you know, fix it when I got, you know, time. It always seemed, and I've had friends that lived off of well pumps and stuff like that, they always seem to go bad in the middle of the night or in the morning or something like that. So if that happens, we'll just switch in our backup. Looks kind of messy back here. Running plastic pipe off of a big coil means that the pipe you undo doesn't come out very straight, and it's really hard to clamp it down without some waves in there and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is put some blocks of wood in there and put perf board, you know, the board you build the racks out of, and just cover it with that, and cover all this up. I'll have to come back later when I want to cut the water off again and move this to the inside of that so that the pipes won't cross going up there. Here is the see if I want it wide here. I'm backed out all the way. Back up behind here, I was thinking the hot water heater was going to be a little bit narrower, so I probably wouldn't have put the pressure switch right there. If I ever have to work on it, it'll be a bit of a problem, but I still can get to it and do that. The pressure switch determines when the pump cuts on and off, and so the wire runs into it through the switch, into this control box for the pump, then the wire goes down to the pump. When the water coming up from the pump, or pumps, either one, goes up here and into the filter system. When we start using these filters, these start out all nice and white. This is the first one in the system, and it picks up any sediment and stuff like that. It starts looking, you know, dingy pretty quick. Then the second filter, it's been staying nice and clean there, so it's not much of a problem. And then the third filter, excuse me, it's white when you put it in there, but as soon as the water hits it, the charcoal makes it look pretty gray there and stuff. So that's a fairly new, clean filter, but it does look gray. Once the water comes through there, it goes up here to the sterilizer. There is a ultraviolet tube running down the middle of that, and it can handle quite a bit of water per minute. I forget exactly what it is, maybe 55 gallons a minute if necessary. It will sterilize that. It runs along this tube right there, comes up along the top. There's the power supply for the ultraviolet tube sterilizer, and the water goes down there, goes over to the hot water heater. So that's the changes that have been made since the last time you were down here. And once I finish working on the drain down here, I've got to hook up the overflow, the pressure relief switch right here. I got to hook up the drain going down to that, and it'll come down here and join the water coming out of the drain pan, and then go out the wall to the back. So anyway, now you've seen what we've been working on. Of course, there's also Lorna's bathroom. This little cubby hole of a bathroom we built so that you can duck in from outside and do your business, wash your hands, say hello. Anyway, she likes kind of a London decor on there. This is kind of a representative of the London Underground and a few things that you might see if you were visiting England, including a picture of the Queen and a telephone call box and stuff like that. Anyway, she's done a nice job in there, including decorating the floor and everything. This is painted concrete down there on the bottom, but she's added some stencils to that, and that works pretty well. There's the kitchen as it is. You can see the light just hit it. It hit the camera and changed the colors and stuff like that. But this is a very, very bright kitchen. Of course, during the summer, that has a little bit of an added problem in that the air conditioning gets a little expensive with all that sunlight coming in. So before next summer, we're going to put in awnings and block out a lot of the sunlight. Retractable so that in the summer we can let it in. There's our air conditioner right there, and our great big fans keeping the air circulated. The rest of the house is still pretty much a mess. We have to, when we work on one area, we have to clean it out and move all the boxes and stuff in a different part of the house and do our construction there. And then Lorna comes in and starts unpacking the boxes, and she's got quite a few of them unpacked right there. Let's take a look out. I'm throwing the boxes outside. And unfortunately right now we have a burn ban. It hasn't rained out here for a couple of months. And it has some nice looking dark clouds out there right now, but I don't think anything much is going to happen. It hasn't rained for a couple of months, so we have a burn ban, and we have a lot of empty boxes sitting around that we would normally throw out there on the pile and set fire to if the grass were damp or something like that, but that may be a while. Anyway, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the little tour. Bye.